the SM Media Podcast Network. Hi, folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the 80 right here on SM Media. I'm Scott McPike. It is always a pleasure to be your host, and we've got a fascinating show coming up this week where we'll take a look at the five leagues where a lot's happened over the past few weeks, quite a number of managerial changes, which we'll get into as well, and quite a lot of big results that could have implications on the potential leagues kind of moving forward between now and the end of the season. Before we get into introducing our special guest this week, just a thank you to our new sponsors, Green Versity Renewables and Indigo Unified Communications, on the support for the remainder of the season and into next season as we look to improve our coverage of the West of Scotland. To join me this week, it is a pleasure to welcome back onto the show. You'll have seen him on before, and he's a very busy man at the moment. It's a pleasure to welcome from Petershill, Craig Palmer.
Thanks, Scott. It's a pleasure to be back on. It was a while ago now, aye, but it's a pleasure to be on. Thanks for having us.
Different club you were at then, but obviously you've moved on to Petershill at the moment. Still in that bun fight that is the First Division. That First Division is as crazy as it always is, but Petershill in a good position, I would say. What would you think?
The league on the league first. It's up and down. It's wild, to be honest. It is, and we said that last year, but I think it's even worse this year. I kind of joined at the end of last year, but no, we were in a good position. We are in a good position still, but it's the last couple of weeks haven't been great for us, to be fair. Dropping points, but still 7 games to go, and listen, you never know. There's still a lot of hard games to come up, but it's one of the ones you need to start picking up points at the start, at the end, and go on a wee run. I think that's vital. I think Colwynn done it there recently, and they went on a good run and pulled themselves away for the pack a bit. So, we need to get the finger out and start getting some points on the board.
And looking at obviously the kind of way the leagues went about, 23 games in, sitting in fourth place. You did mention about the kind of form as of late, and I think though it can't be underestimated just how impressive Petershill's season was. Kind of basically the middle. There's obviously I would look at that league very much. I don't know if you do. Split it into three quarters, split it into three thirds basically. First, first third was pretty good. There was some good results in there. Obviously, the one at Ardrossan, beating Irvine Medal 5-1 in the opening day, and then that kind of second period, like between December and into kind of the end of February, I would say, like Petershill were as good a form as anyone. I think they won 7 out of 8 games, like they were flying.
Aye, no, we did. We came back after Christmas, and we I think we ended up beating Other Medal 5-1 a game, one of the first games. And we went on a bit of a run. I think we beat Forneywood at home and stuff as well. But it just seems to be, I don't know, it's consistency we're really struggling with. We're making mistakes at certain times, but if you watch what games we lose or we draw, it's 2-1s or two eaches. We seem to throw games away. We played Renthrough, who I thought were a very good side up at Petershill, and I think it was one each at the time, and we've got a throw in like the 88th minute on the left hand side, and about 4 touches later they've scored and beat us 2-1. Even Saturday against Blantyre, it was. I think the park was what it was. It's
Yeah.
the both same for both teams, but you're 2-0 down against Blantyre, who are fighting for their lives after 10 minutes. And see, to be fair to Blantyre, it could have been 5 or 6. We were all over the place, and then I think even I spoke to Ross after it. Even Blantyre admitted at the end we probably should have won the game. The second half we kind of dominated. We got 2-2 each. And then what big striker Jojo goes through in the 92nd minute, 1-on-1, and hits it straight at the goalie. So it's ones that in this league, as you say, Scott. I think you need to be taking the chances and getting the wins,
Yeah.
because I pick a team like Glencairn. Glencairn were excellent at the start. Everybody thought they were going to run away. Went through a stage, I couldn't win, and knew they seemed to have picked back up again. So as you say, it's about finding that we kind of run a form.
And obviously, like Stephen McNeil, obviously taking the job, and his kind of first stab at management. Like, how impressive has he been the way he's went about his business, and what was kind of like what led to you kind of joining him and kind of helping him out?
Oh, well, it was like a numerous factor. Stephen's a good friend of mine outside of football.
Yeah,
I went Petershill for years as well. He'd actually, when I left Athley, he'd actually asked me to go in. He's the assistant, and I ended up at the time I'd been asked by John Doyle, who's my friend and Mull coach as well, to get into St Cadoc's. Obviously, I chose to go to St Cadoc's and then ended up going to Cumnock with Doyle and stuff as well.
yeah,
And after the Cumnock thing, Stephen had asked me, phoned me up again and asked me again, and I just thought, be after doing the kind of travelling and what happened. Listen, Cumnock was a great club as well. I've not got a bad word
yeah,
to say, obviously Cumnock and stuff like after what happened, but it was the travelling there was I knew in 5 minutes, and then I stay about 12 minutes for Petershill on the
yeah,
motorway. So been in there and been able to help Stephen out because he hadn't had a lot of kind of continuity. There's a lot of coaches in and out. I think he said about 7 or 8 coaches in his short time. So just to go in and we end up taking Dan Ramsey with us, who was a player of
yeah.
mine, a friend of mine, a coach as well, just to kind of give him a bit of stability. But on Stephen as well as himself, he lets me do lots of the coaching and stuff, so I kind of take the sessions and take lots of that. So it's very good for me. But on him himself, he does a lot of work that people don't see as well, like
Mhm.
getting the club sponsorship. He does all the VO cuts, all the stuff for the VO. He just puts a lot of effort in it that you don't see in the background, and he's really really hard working. And same as when I spoke when I hanged with Doyley at the my wife, she kind of moans that Doyley's always on the phone and McNeil's always on the phone, but. No, he says listen, I'm only a year or two ahead of him on the coaching side, but he's still there. I'm still learning. He's still learning like me, but he's really, really hard working. So it's no, it's good to work with him.
And like you mentioned about Peters, how like the consistency and performances, like you look at Robbie Young, Alex Cassels, Dominic Morgan, like just looking here, I think they've got like 36 goals between them, and like they've set a really high standard and provided a kind of excellent continuity for goals this season. Like how important have those three been, and as well the kind of whole squad as well, and kind of pushing for promotion? Because obviously Peters Hill, the season they had obviously been in the Premier Division a couple of seasons ago. I imagine that that's the priority to get back there. And how important is it that the squad is balanced to give that a go?
Aye, no, definitely. I think no matter where kind of most teams in this league, I think they'll tell you we're happy with this and that. But the aim's to go and get up, and it's to be attack
Yeah,
free. You want to go up. You don't want to consolidate. I think anybody that tells you they go into a job or you do anything in life to go and consolidate, it's listen, maybe Ashfield, I know Max you've still do, but barring that, like Ardrossan would have been looking to go up. They're all looking to go up. Petershill certainly. We built the squad to looking to go up, and so I say they three you mentioned have been excellent for us. They are scoring goals and. I mean, we've went and added we've added Regan Aitken into that
yeah,
as
it
well.
was a good signing.
Another tremendous player. Big Tomo's obviously had a few injuries. We've had to play him. Big Ryan Thompson at centre half at times. I think that's been a wee bit of a kind of stop start for us as well. But it's the same for everybody, so I wouldn't use it as an excuse. Like we've had to play Tomo at centre half. Dom at centre half at times when he's scoring 10 to 15 goals for us, but everybody's in the same boat. It's just been a bit of but whether it's been that we can't really get a kind of set team on the park. But as I say, we've added Regan, we've went and added Deck Hughes, who's another cracking
Yeah,
player. But it's just trying to get that continuity. But they three boys, they goals are massive for us, and hopefully they can add a couple more towards the end of the season, and a couple other boys can chip in as well.
and like, playing 23 games, like you look at the league and you look like teams have got games in hand, teams are playing each other every weekend. Like it's such a hard league to follow, and like imagine every weekend, like no matter the result from your end, like looking at other results, you must be mystified at some of the results you're seeing.
Oh, definitely. As you go in after the game, where it's kind of the loses, you don't really look. But if you win a game, you go right. How the other teams go on, and you're going,
Yeah,
kind of believe they've lost to them. But and it's not being disrespectful. You're just a team's maybe on a bit of form more than the other. But it just shows you the standard area league that it can anybody can beat anybody. I mean, look at Ardrossan. Ardrossan, obviously well known. They acquired a good players last year. They were saying they spent a bit of money. They got up. They were a good side. They kind of continued that this year. They started slow, but look at them now. I think they're
hmm
drawing something like 6 points behind us. And you've got, as I say, Kilburn have still got a chance to catch. Storney
yeah.
would still get a chance to catch. I think even Renfrew had a wee bit of a blip, and then they've kind of kicked on again. I think that St Rocks have kind of went through a wee bit of a kind of transition. They've brought some good players in, but I played with Jamie Hamilton and stuff as well.
Yeah,
They've brought some really good players in, so it's still kind of ought to play. I mean, as you say, you're saying we. I'm thinking we need favours. I really do. I'm thinking we need favours. We need to win more games. We need favours, but I don't think it's it's unachievable because, as you say, the standard of the league, upsets will happen.
And that's kind of something I wanted to touch on because like last season, I'm just looking here just now, like 58 points get third and get promotion. And then you look at the season before where again another tight league, 56 points get promotion. That's the kind of that looks to be that kind of mid 50s number, looks to be the kind of magic number at the moment. But the teams you're playing every week, it's very difficult for any team to get to that number. Like even Kilwinning who on 45 points, like I know they need 10, but it's a tough ask to get that in 7 games. Like it's so hard.
I know, no, definitely, and I'm not. Actually, I've had a look at the kind of fixtures of the other teams and stuff, and Cowan have got a lot of hard fixtures
Hmm.
coming up as well. Like everybody else, coming up very, very soon. So no, it's. I mean, all you need is one loss. Cowan were on a great run, and I think Renfrew's turned them over at the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's how does Kevin, how did they boys react for that? I fully expect them to react the same everybody the way everybody should professionally. But. I mean, I don't know who they play this week, but I was looking at it and I think like Glencairn's got a draw in that something's going to give there.
Win and go to Arthurlie.
Win and go to Arfley, so there you go. If Cowan and lose that, then that's two in a row and stuff. And
Hmm.
if Arfley lose that under the new manager and what's going on at Arfley, I don't know. Listen, I know a lot of the boys still at Arfley and are professional. I think they'll
Yeah.
do the job. They're looking if they can steady that, get together, then I would still say they're massive favourites to go up with the games in hand, but they've still got to go and win them. Glencairn look like the kind of one that's the form and maybe a wee bit of Renfrew now, but aye, it's all big games, Scott. It really is. It's an exciting league. No, it's no ideally what we want. We want teams to just lose, but it's a kind of you win this week, you win three, and then you lose three. It's a crazy league. It is. It's really really crazy. And I've said it to you. I even said it the last time when we won the conference when I was at Athley.
Hmm.
I felt I do feel I didn't want the conferences, but I do feel that they've sorted the leagues out. I really do.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. And like you look at the form table as well, like I know that form can be up and down, but like it's so tight. Like there's every team, like no team's going on like a run where they're winning five, six in a row. Kilwinning did and they're sitting top, like but no other team have. Like Kilburn won four in a row and they're 10th. Like it just shows you how tight the league is. Meadow went on a really good run and they're obviously still fighting for survival. So again, it's just such a tough league. We'll go just quickly on to the games over the weekend. We'll start with the actually a cup game, obviously Auchinleck. They are in their second cup final. They had to do it a hard way, obviously beating Hallabeath Hawthorn on penalties to go into the South of Scotland Challenge Cup final. And it's going to be a hard contest. You look at what's coming up. They play East Kilbride on the 6th of April at Broadwood. East Kilbride, Auchinleck. Auchinleck play Largs as well in the West of Scotland Cup final. Tucker just finds a way to get these cup finals, doesn't he? He just loves them.
I
Like,
think I think at the end of every season, Scott, you talk about the same thing, don't you? They start slow, but see at the end of the season, they're always there.
I
They're
know.
always in something, and they're always there or thereabouts everything. And I've not seen Auckland this year. I haven't. But when I've been talking to boys, a few boys that have been playing the bigger leagues, they say that they've actually the team they were at the start of the season, they're far better side than what they were at the
Yes.
start of the season. So. Listen, I fully expect him. I think East Kilbride's doing brilliant, but I think I spoke to Dolly. They drew with the Colts at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some great players, but listen, that's a hard game for East Kilbride as well. Like that's somebody with their kind of what they've got coming up as well. You don't really want to be playing Auckland because you know you're going to be playing in a game. Um, but no, they're always there or thereabouts. And Largs are another team. I know I've been promoting them, but I've
Yeah.
so much respect for what Arnie does down there. They're honestly they're unbelievable team for what they what they have, if you know what I mean. They've improved so much over the last 2 3 years, and they've been excellent.
Let's move into the Premier Division. We should say we are recording this during, well, basically the Clydebank Auchinleck game and Davos St Cadix is just about to start. So this will probably be a wee bit redundant, but Clydebank at the moment, as we record at 7:53 on Tuesday night, are 19 points clear at the top of the Premier Division with 8 games to go. They are unbeaten in 22 games. I think no matter what happens tonight with Clydebank Auchinleck, I think Clydebank are going to be deserving champions when it happens, and I think Moff for what he's done for that club, like barring a miracle, they are going to be have a chance of promotion this season.
Oh, 1,000,000% agree. 1,000,000% agree. And it's something I actually said, and it wasn't disrespectful for me anyway. The other teams, I just thought the way they signed this year, and the kind of squad they built
Yeah.
after they went kind of 10-11 unbeaten, I never ever thought the kind of the way they run it and the professionalism they've got and the squad they had that they were ever going to know. I just didn't think they would lose enough games. I just felt that they've bought really well for this level. Like they're signing boys that know this level, like Dino. As I say, they went and signed Keir Sampson. I think the boy Kieran, the boy Mokaki, I've always thought he was one of the best, if not the best striker at the level. I just think
I think they've got a lovely balance. I've said that all season. I think they've got a lovely balance in their squad, and they just complement each other so well. Like there's players who have been at the level, went up, hasn't worked out, and they've come back and they found a home at Clydebank. Do you know what I mean? Like, even like looking at David Syme, Nicky Lowe coming down, I think it's a massive. There's been a massive player. James Grant's been big as well. They've just got tremendous like balance all over the squad, and that's down to good recruitment and good management.
Oh no, definitely. I definitely agree that the boys they've done a great job there. And there's nothing really bad you can say about it. You say everything you said there, Scott. The squad. You look at the players they're bringing off the bench as well. You look at the boy Truesdale, who I think is a magnificent player.
Yeah,
He's not playing much for to have him available off your bench is, and a lot of the other boys they're bringing. I think they're bringing Samson and Mokaki off the bench and stuff, and then Nicky Little still just scoring
well,
goals.
this is the bench tonight. That's the bench tonight, right? Ross, Hodge, McKenzie, Mulcahy, McGonigal, Truesdale, Bigger. Like they're all getting in. They're all getting into most other sides.
Oh, like definitely, definitely. I mean, that's and that's down to Moff and Cook and Gaz and that. What they do, obviously, these boys want to be there. The way they run it, the kind of unit they are, what they brought together, what they bring to the table. So no, that's kudos to them. And as I say, I totally agree with you. I just think the way they're going and they don't look as if they're going to go unbeaten as well. Listen, I could be a egg in my face and I know I'm a
You could
horse
have,
time.
yeah.
But they just don't. It might be a draw. They just don't look. They just seem as if they've got something about them. And listen, I'd be fancying them. I wouldn't want to be playing them. And the playoff either, if you know what I mean. I would be fancying them to go if they go win the league.
Clydebank, obviously, that like we are expecting them to win the title. They will obviously end Bede's run of championships. They beat Bede 3-1 at the weekend. Bede, obviously, Chris Strain has moved on from the club. One thing I will say about Strainey is, and I've got a lot of time for Strainey, he's been very, very good for the channel and very good helping us out with this as well. He has done an unbelievable job at Bede, and he can leave with a tremendous amount of credit for the job he done there.
1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. I actually spoke to Straney before he quit. I didn't actually know he was quitting because we were trying to sign Deck.
Right, okay.
But I just it's like one of the ones that be they listen they're okay financially. They can attract decent players, but they're no up with what's there just now.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was able to do that for 2 years in a row, while his kind of players were getting kind of took for under him as well. No, he's done an unbelievable job. But listen, I think Strain done an unbelievable job kind of everywhere he's went. You can't really knock even with Cohen and stuff as well. You can't knock and what he does. You really can. He gets his team working hard. And listen, at the end of the day, whether they like what they're doing or they don't, he wins games and he wins trophies, and that's what this game's all about, basically.
And one side who have been very, very impressive, and Jimmy Cutler's obviously been on. Troon won 3-0 away at Benburb. Troon sitting in second place. Like I remember at the start of the season, I've been Troon in my bottom three, and I just want to say, like, I do apologise. But what an unbelievable performance they've had so far this season. And I know a few of their coaching staff really well, and like massive credit to them. And they've built a really good side, and like they'll be looking to finish. I mean, second's very much a possibility for them, and if they do get it, like wherever they finish, they've been an absolutely marvelous season so far.
Troon have been unbelievable. If you ask me where I thought Trim would be after the season before, I would have said down the bottom as well. Also, I had a couple of boys with Sam Jameson and Cal Veach at
Yeah.
Cumnock, two
Mhm.
great players, great boys. I didn't expect Trim to be where they were, but listen, that's kudos to them again. As I keep saying, it's like you just don't know if you can get a group of boys that just all take to it and they work hard. And as I say, Trim's on another team because I'm in the kind of lower division. I've not seen any of them this year, but listen, they're getting some great results and they're sitting second in a league like that. So, no, fair play to them, fair play to Jimmy. That's a great achievement if they can just keep that going.
I don't know if you've maybe seen this on social media, but there was a wee bit of drama at Johnson Borough this weekend. Have you seen it?
I did see it, aye.
We will say, to be honest, like I still don't know exactly what's happened. I know there's chat about Johnson maybe made more than five subs. There's other parties saying that that wasn't the case. It's been a complete misunderstanding. This is going to drag on a wee, I think, but Johnson Borough did win 2-1. Whether that result stands or there's going to be further, we don't know. But what I will say is that Johnson are challenging at the top. Darvel are looking to secure safety. Whatever happens, it's certainly got a bit of attention in the West over the weekend.
Aye, so yeah, what I heard it was I actually asked. I work Big Danny O'Neill works in my work. I probably asked Danny. But what I heard it was that they obviously made the sixth sub. I think it was Big Lafferty, and I don't know whether it was from the sub or it was a couple of seconds after the sub. They got a corner or a free kick, put it in. I think Lafferty headed it, and it hit somebody's arm and they gave a penalty. And then I don't know if they realised, I could be totally wrong, but they realised the mistake, told Lafferty he had to go off for the boy to
Yeah,
come on for, and then still allowed the penalty to stand.
aye, but that's kind of what I heard as well. Like the one thing is, again, the league will probably investigate it and decide what's happening. And again, I'm not sure kind of what's happening, but kind of in terms of Johnson Borough, like we've mentioned over the course of the season, they've got a lot of talent. Murray signed on for another season. I think Murray has been a terrific appointment. I really do.
I again, no, he's done a good job down there, and the Johnston Borough already that's the job you want. If listen, it's well out there that they spend a bit of money and they invest a lot in the squad. But again, it's about using that right. There's been plenty of managers that said lots of money that for me haven't used it right.
Mhm.
But I know, listen, they seem like doing I'm a firm believer as well. If you're bringing boys for senior and stuff, we spoke about it off air, bring a mixture and bring a lot of boys for this kind of that know this level as well. And I think he's done that, to be fair. And I think they'll be battling through. And I do think the Bankies will win it, but they'll be battling through for second, and then for the first season back in the big league, they've still got a chance. Yeah, I think you're looking at them. I actually spoke to Danny, and I think for the Scottish Cup, no disrespect to the East teams. But I would fancy the winner
Yeah.
of them and Largs to be favourites for the Scottish as well. So they've got a shot at that as well. So no, I think they would consider it a good season, first one back in the top flight, and then look to kick on for there.
Yeah, we mentioned Lags obviously 1-3-1 at home at Glenafton. Glenafton were 1-0 up. Martin McVeigh and Ramsey scored the goals for Lags, and they've just went about their business very well. And again, it's another credit to the job Army does.
Aye, listen, I've said that even we played Largs the last couple of years in a friendly, and I speak to Arnie when we go down there and stuff, and I just think he's done a magnificent job. I really do. Just that they're always there. Nobody wants to play Larg. Listen, if you get a chance to draw Larg, you don't want to draw them in cups. You just don't want them. They're just one of the teams. He does a great job all the time. And I've got nothing but good things to say. Obviously, I know wee Ryan Dees that's down there, and he's travelling away down there. He loves it. Obviously, he was down there years ago. And I think they've got I sent wee boy Connor Bradley. Gummy I had at Athley, who I think's a magnificent football
Yeah.
player. He had a lot of clubs. And he actually phoned me for a bit of advice at the start of the season, asking what he should do. And I actually had a lot of offers, and I actually said to him that for 1 year, just to get over his injury and stuff, I says I think that would be a great place to go. And listen, I've spoke to Gummy, and he absolutely loves it. He loves it down there. So no, fair play.
And like obviously a couple of managerial changes. We'll start with obviously the job at St Cadoc's. Martin Fellows has moved on. Gary Muir has it to the end of the season. We don't know what's happening. St Cadoc's obviously a big club. Few clubs in the league, obviously, that there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of high hopes that they to move up and progress and kick on to challenge for titles. Martin done a terrific job there. I was very, very impressed with Martin. Whether it hasn't worked out or what the kind of reason is, I'm not sure. But tremendous manager, will do very well in the game. And St Cadoc's does a good job for somebody.
I know, definitely. Listen, I had about 5 months at St Cadoc's
Yeah,
with Doyley when I left Arthurlie, and it's a great club. Listen, they've got a kind of small committee and stuff, but they work really hard. I never wanted for anything, never ever wanted for anything. And no, Martin's came into it for his Bride. Obviously, Martin's got a really, really professional kind of background. Knows his stuff. And he's came in there and done a really good job. He's got his team very well organised. They know what they're doing. I think they won the Demolition Cup,
Yeah.
and he's kind of constantly kind of up top four, top five in the league. So, no, he's done another good job there. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of why he left. I could take a guess at it, but I'll not say that on here. But no, he's made a decision for himself, and I'm pretty sure he'll just take a wee bit of time and then looking to get back in. And I don't think if he goes for jobs, he would be far away from him either with the kind of job he's done and the kind of pedigree he's got his coaching and stuff. So no, he done a good job.
Gareth Cairns obviously another job that's come available due to obviously Mick Dunlop and Paddy Boyle leaving. They've obviously been tremendous for the club in their 3 years. Gareth Cairns obviously very difficult position this season with obviously the points deduction. Difficult job whoever's going in there, and I would imagine whoever goes in they will get a lot of support. And it's going to be interesting to see like whether they end the season in the Premier Division. I think it would be massive if they did achieve survival. If they obviously get relegated, it's a big bit of pressure to go and get promotion straight away because Gartcairn, obviously, what they've done, they are looking to be a Premier Division club. I think it's a big job, whoever goes in there.
I would agree. I would agree. Listen, I think again, it's another one that's well known. I don't know personally, but they've threw a bit at it this year. You can with the kind of caliber of player and stuff, and then they had a go, and then unfortunately, I think the deduction thing with the mistake is kind of killed them in a way. Because there's been guys here and then there's guys leaving, guys in, guys leaving, and I don't think that's good for
Yeah.
the stability of the squad as well in the playing squad. But listen, you can't fault the kind of guys that run Gartcairn for their effort and their commitment to the club. They put a lot of time and they put a lot of money into it. I think it's a hard job because you see the situation definitely. But if they guys this season maybe, but if they guys are still going with the kind of enthusiasm that they've went at it with for next year, then if you get somebody in there and they're backing it like that, then I would it would be you'd have a right good chance of coming straight back up, put it that way, without getting into kind of money terms. But it has just been a wee bit of kind of stop start, looking for the outside. That's me just looking for the outside. It's been stop start with players in, players out, players in, players out. So listen, that's getting on today. Me, I wasn't in charge of the club, but I would if I was in charge of the club, I'd find that hard to kind of to manage in that level. But I don't know the ins and outs, as I say.
And Hurlford winning 4-0 at home to Pollock, Cumnock winning 1-0 at home at St Cadoc's over the weekend. They kind of fight for survival at the bottom. Benburb have had a tough run. Shots are beginning to pick up. And Darwell there as well. Like, it's very, very difficult. I'd say 12th to 16th, obviously, they're all fighting for survival. It's going to make an exciting end to the season down there.
I actually had a wee look the other day. As I say, shots have picked up a wee bit. Ben Bub's a couple of wee wins. Gartcairn's still in there kicking and screaming. The one for me I know is Darvel. Darvel's bottom, but when you look at all Darvel's results,
Yeah,
I said to myself, they're not getting hammered. They're always there or thereabouts, and they just seem to don't know what if one thing or another that's going on. Like obviously Saturday kind of went against them,
aye.
but aye, they're kind of kicking and screaming on. And Hurlford, who I thought looked as if might get dragged away into it, have just went and they've kind of hammered Pollock at the weekend, didn't they, and gave themselves a wee bit of a jag. So, because I was actually looking as high up as Pollock and looking Pollock get dragged into it, but I think they've got a wee bit of a buffer. So no, it's again, you never know, but with the amount of games left to play, there's a few that could still get dragged in, definitely.
We'll go to the first division. Obviously, Petershill drew 2-2 away to Blantyre, 2-0 down. Like, Blantyre have picked up a wee bit of form over the past couple of games. Petershill, like, being 2-0 down, does that feel like a big point, or is it one of those games you maybe look back and think, like, the start's going to cost us?
Aye, we said that to the boys after it. As I say, no being disrespectful. It was like we said that you take your positive yourself as a point, but it wasn't really a positive because we needed more than a point.
Mm.
And I don't think a point was good enough. But fair play to Blantyre, as I said to you, I thought the first 10, 15 minutes Blantyre could have been about 6-0 up. We were that bad at it, but we were just conceding chances for fun. Second half towards the second of the first half and in the second half. listen, the park it was very hard to play the football. It was a big game of mistakes. And we kind of took over the second half. We got our two goals, and I thought we're going to go and win this with a couple of wee other pot shots, and then as I say, we had a 1-on-1 in the last minute, which we probably should score. But aye, it's a wee bit deflating because if we do what we do in the second half, then I feel we win the game, and I feel we win the game convincingly. But Blantyre, I spoke to Ross. He gets his team. They're hard working. They're organised. They go and they go until the final whistle goes. So that's no taking it away for them. Listen, they deserved up. I think we should have won probably, but did they deserve the draw on the thingy? Probably aye, because we didn't do enough to win it. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll move into kind of other games in the league. Obviously, Kilwinning lost 3-1 away to Renfrew. Brings Renfrew obviously back into the equation. Rutherglen won 5-2 over St Roch's. St Roch's were 2-0 up, but Rutherglen are showing consistency. Like the top four of the top three at the moment, like Renfrew and Rutherglen, big wins for them. Like looking above, like who out the three kind of like have you been impressed with?
Of the three, the best team well, to be fair, I was impressed with Renfrew. I didn't think we used to lose the Renfrew game at home, but I thought they played the good football. I thought they were a decent side, a very good side. Glencairn Glencairn beat us twice now. They've got some good players. The way they play narrow, and they've got the boy Jarvie up front, the boy McManus, who I like stuff as
Yeah,
well. They're a good side. Winning, funnily enough, when we played Winning down there, I thought we were very good. Missed a couple of sitters, and if I'm being honest, I think they stole it in the last minute. They've got the big boy McCallum, I think it is, that throws the ball an absolute
yeah.
country mile.
I think he assisted 2 goals the week before. I think.
Aye, so they scored in the 93rd minute against us to beat us down there. But they've got some good players as well. We Marky Lamont, we Blair and that. They've got good players. But listen, Kevin's got them well organised again, and they use that throw into their advantage. So it's up to teams to stop it. But on the teams, I would probably say Glencairn, if I'm being honest. I think are the ones that go on a run that could go and catch all them.
Speaking about your old club, Atherley, now we should say at this point, Colin Riley's obviously left Atherley. He's obviously gave the kind of his explanation of what's happened, and Colin somebody who'll get a job no problem, and when he decides to get back into the game, I can only wish him all the best. Like you, obviously being at Atherley for a while and being a part of a successful Atherley side, like it doesn't sound great what's happening there at the moment.
No, it doesn't. As I'm good friends with Gary Carroll, Colin's assistant, who took the team on Saturday, and I believe he's left as well,
Yeah, I
obviously.
heard that as well. Yeah,
And he speaks very highly of Colin. I actually I gave Colin a wee message, and never went into too much. Obviously, I think he done his other thing. I never watched it, but it doesn't read too well when they've got all the games in hand. Kind of what he said. Eh, Obviously, you hear the kind of rumours. I'm not getting into that either, but the rumours of what's going on with the players and stuff. But it's just a bit of it's a bit of a weird one because I really did fancy Athlete. If they win a couple of games they're on, I think they'll just go and squish you. Like
yeah,
it's it's no a kind of thing the caliber of player they've got. Listen, they've brought Alan Healy back, who I had when I was there. Like I mean, they're loaning players out like Wee Brophy and stuff like that. If you can afford to loan Wee Brophy out, then you've got a good squad. So listen, but you've got again, that's no disrespect. You've got to go and manage them, and I think that's what Colin and Gary and that have done well. For everything that they've obviously had going on, they've got Athley in a challenging position to possibly go and win the league if you look at it. But listen, I've got a lot of time for JL Athley, one of the main guys at Athley. He was brilliant to me when I was there, and I consider him a friend and stuff. So I'm not too sure on what's going on, but I would, if I was to make it, if you're asking my opinion, I wouldn't say it was made on footballing decisions. That would just be my. But again, I'm not privy what was to what was the decision. I kind of sacking them, but they certainly had them in a good position, and they hadn't lost many games this year as well. So it came as a surprise, put it that way.
and Kevin Rutkowitz is in there now, and I know Kevin quite well, and I've spoken to him a lot. Basically, obviously, what he'd done at Stirling, what he'd done at East Kilbride. Like it's certainly an ambitious appointment, so I'm very intrigued to see how that plays out. But I mean, 1-1 away to Kilburn, it's a massive start. And looking at Atherley, they do look like they've got the games in hand. They look like the side who have the points to get. Do you know what I mean? I know they're in fifth, but like if they win their 5 games in hand and go winning, for example, do you know what I mean? They're 5 points above them.
Aye,
So
aye, no, definitely, and I think I would. According to the reports when I spoke to them, I think they were good, and they lost to Cowan a few weeks ago, and
mhm.
a game I heard they shouldn't have lost. So I think they'll be looking to go and win on Saturday. And again, does that dent Cowan's confidence? Does that give a new manager a kick with the boys as well? You know what it's like when you get a new manager in. But I've said it before with Athlete. I would fully expect with the squad and the players that Athlete's got. I said at the start of the season I would have fully expected them to win the league. As I say, I'm not going to financing and stuff like that. But like you know that they've got good players there, and again, I would fully expect them to win their games in hand and go and win the league. I think it would be a listen. You just want to go up. Everybody, you know that you want to be first, second, or third into the first division. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but then
Yeah,
win the league, you win it. But at the end of the day, you want promotion. And I would fully be expecting an athlete to want to go and win that kind of that the league with the kind of caliber of player they've got, and especially with what they've got in the Scott, as you said, I think they can go and win 4 or 5 out of their games in hand, and they would probably be still up there for kind of joint tap, and that's leaving them on a level playing field for there. So, you'll see how they know. I don't know much about the boy Reykjaviks, I really don't. But listen, he's got the players there, so if he gets in and gets him on side, then I think they'll be fine.
yeah, absolutely. Just other kind of results. Obviously, Ardrossan 1-1 away at Ashfield. Vale Clyde, big result for them, beating Thornleywood 2-1. Cumberland 1, Maybole 0, and Rob Roy 1, Irvine Meadow 1. Look, I'm going to go on record here. Like, I think it is very difficult to see. Well, Ashfield, I think, are definitely. I don't think they are going to stay up. Neither are Blantyre. Whoever finishes 14th, they consider themselves the unluckiest team in the world because you could easily get like 33 points in that league and still go down. It's that tight.
Aye, it's going to be a tough one as well, and I've got a few friends kind of doing it at the Villa Clyde as well, and the committee and stuff like that as
Hmm.
well. I think the Vale. I know they're the ones that look. They don't look great now, but I think the Vale stay up.
Okay.
I've played them twice now, and there's something about them. They've got good players. They're hard working. They're a hard team to play. We beat them 1-0 down at the Vale the other week, but they're a hard side. I actually, when I look at the games in Holland, I felt they done more than obviously Jamie's went in and got a great kick out the boys at the
Yeah.
Med as well. He really has, because I thought when he took our, I mean, I think we beat them the day that Ben obviously unfortunately got the sack
Hmm.
or left, whatever happened, sorry. And I just thought they looked doomed. I just thought the boys they looked away. They looked, there was no, there was, I don't know what it was. I actually spoke to a few of the boys with it come like with Gio and Big Jamie, the goalie and stuff, and they just looked devoid of confidence. But fair play to Jamie, he's been in there and he's turned it round, and he's added a good few players. He's had the boy McKenzie, he's had the Brophy, ones he trusts. He's added the boy that's got a bit of pace, the boy Skinner that was at Renfrew,
Yeah.
the striker. So he's added a wee bit to it, and he's getting a jag out of them. The same with Rob Roy, with Gibby. They were another one. I thought they're not scoring goals. They're not
Yeah.
this, and I mean they came up. Don't get me wrong, we were terrible the other day, but they came up. I think they'd scored 19 goals in the 23 games, and they came up and put 5 past us the other day. That's just. But again, then they went and drew with the Med at the weekend. So no, it's going to be interesting. I think the one you were asking my opinion, it could be in trouble. And through a bit of a transition, I don't know fully what's happened. I know it's down your neck, down Ayrshire way, but I think Mabel, if they could be in trouble.
Yeah. I think it is interesting. Obviously, George Wallace has been in there. Obviously, that was at Luga. It might just be a case like they had a really good start, but they have dipped a wee bit. I think it might be a position where they maybe need a wee kind of spark between now and the end of the season. Meadow, I think, will be the side. Meadow are the ones looking at them. I think we'll finish closer to kind of top half than they will bottom.
Hmm.
Like I can see them going on a real run. They've got the obviously the games to make up. I think Meadow will be fine. I think Rob Roy will be fine as well. I'm very intrigued to see how that finishes. Into the second division, I don't think I've actually seen this in a while. None of the top three won. Whitlets were soundly beaten 4-1 away to Maryhill. Massive result for Maryhill. Neilston drew 3-3 at home with fourth. Muirkirk were held 1-1 at Bells Hill. Lanark won 4-1 at home to Craigmark. Now, that is a big result for Lanark. Now, they would need Muirkirk to go on a really bad run to have any chance of challenging. But it certainly made that top four interesting because Muirkirk have got games in hand in the top two. And right now, Muirkirk have got the momentum, in my opinion, out of the top four at the moment.
He's done it. I don't know the boy down there. It was actually, I was talking to somebody the other day that said about him. It was actually John Doyle, and I think he knows the boy. He's
Hmm.
done a great job down there.
Brilliant job.
Cup were always, I think, they had a good season in the conferences, didn't they? If that was right, they done well
Yeah,
in the conferences. But he's not. He's really kicked them on. It's another team I've no seen. But no, he's really getting a kind of a tune out of them, and I had a look at it the other day, and they are looking kind of really good. The ones you said with the Whitlets, Whitley signed a lot of good players at the start of the season, and I thought they would have just ran away with it. But no, it's going to be very interesting at the top of that league.
but let's play Muir Cup on Saturday. Well, that could be a very interesting game. You could that's a the definition of a 6 point. It gives them your cut momentum if they're to go and win that. And Whitlets, I think it would calm them down. Colside won 3-0 away to Lark Hall. Thriller at Caledonian Locomotives as they won 6-5 against Bonneton. Big win for St Anthony's, actually. That's probably the result of the weekend, I would say. St Anthony's going to Yokern winning 3-0. It's a massive boost for them.
Aye, so I'm obviously friends with Monty. We had Monty with us as a coach at Cumnock,
Yeah,
and he's been in there. And I was actually talking to him, and he really listened. Monty's a great, he's enthusiastic, he's a great guy, Monty. He's a good coach as well. He knows what he wants for his players. The boys will get in there and enjoy his training, and obviously they're enjoying playing for him. But that's, as you say, that's a massive result. But I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that I think his first three or four games, I think he had the top 4 or 5 in the league or something. And he was kind of trying to say, he was saying to me like, I said, the ones are kind of free hits. We know what we need to go and win, but that one on Saturday against Joka. I mean, we played Joka in a friendly mid-season with Petershill, and they came up to Petershill and beat us, and I was actually quite impressed with them. I thought they had a lot of good players. So I know he's listen for Monty. Obviously, I want the Ants to get out of trouble. So to see that was a great result for them, a great result.
into the third division, Thorn won 3-2 at home to Lugar, and they're sitting obviously with a healthy 10 point lead at the top of the table. You look at the kind of top five, Ardeer won 4-3 away to Three Rovers. Kilsyth, obviously, Bailey has decided to move on. Bailey's done terrific at Kilsyth, and I mentioned obviously in the Patreon, I think it'd be a massive achievement if he's achieved promotion before he moves. They beat Greenock 3-1. Dorai won 1-0 away to Wishaw. Thorn looked pretty good for promotion, I think. I think Thorn will be pretty hard to see past. But second to sixth, it's anybody's guess. Like it's so
I
tight there.
No, I know. I'm just looking at it with three having the games in hand as well. That's another one everybody was expecting a lot for by the kind of rumours that was going about them about signing a lot of the boys down the south and stuff like that, and they've kind of came through the league, so they've still got a shot at that. But as you say about the boy Bailey, that's the job he's done, and it's unbelievable. He's just been there. He's just all they're always there. They're always a good side. They're
Yeah.
always there or thereabouts. But even Thorn are a new side and all for the last couple of years, and for them to, I think they've managed to keep the kind of nucleus of all the boys. It's not a team I know lots about, but to to go and pull away in a league like that, I would say a league like that as well. Like it's hard. It's hard. They all beat each other as well, and for Thornton to go through that, looking at it only losing 2 games, that's good going. They've scored 77 goals. That's 23 games, 77 goals. So no, they'll be fully deserved. And I know the boys doing it Dorai as well. I know Chris and that, and a few of the boys I had at Athley were at the 20s, the Catlows and that are doing it Dorai.
Yeah.
So no, I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them maybe put a wee challenge in as well. But no, that's another one. It's towards the end of the season, the last kind of what is it going to be 8 games? That's going to be a very tight one as well.
I've just had a goal notification. Clydebank 1, Auchinleck 0.
Mm,
So there we go. We'll have updates up until the end here.
aye,
Obviously, the seven as well. Top six, Fanart in there. Glasgow Uni won 4-2 at home to Vale of Leaving. I've been very impressed with them so far this season. Big result for Glenvale. They won 1-0 at home to Glasgow United. Girvan with a 2-1 home win over Perthshire. And Ben Carson, Irvin Vick's 4, Fanart 1. Like, he's really got a tune out of them lately, and they look to be in the fight now to try and stay up. But I think the bottom of the table is very interesting because you've got, I'd say Wishaw, I find it very tough to see them staying up. But from Glenvale to Irvin Vicks, like it's very tight.
aye. No, I'm looking Glasgow. Shittles and I keep Glasgow United. They've obviously got like 5, 6 games in hand,
Yeah,
but it's what they go and do. But if you're looking at Irvine Vicks, they're markers to go into Perthshire and stuff. So Aye, they've got a fighting chance, but Irvine were always a good side under. Was it Dougie win it? They were always a good side under him as well. So no, for Ben to go in there, it's a great result to go and beat Fanart, who I know are another good side. So no, they've gave us listen there. They can say give ourselves a chance. They can only win games and give ourselves a chance. That's all you can ask. Aye.
Let's move into the fourth division. The top four all drew each other. Port Glasgow drew 4-4 with Easterhouse. Knightswood drew 1-1 with Kello. Kello have drawn four games in a row. It's left, obviously, with that. Rossvale look to have a bit of momentum behind them. 1-2-1 away to West Park. Eglinton hot in their heels as well. 3-1 home win over East Kilbride Thistle. Knightswood and Port Glasgow, to me, unless something strange happens, are both up. Four teams going for one place by the looks of it, and all four of them are serious contenders in my opinion.
Yep, aye, that's looking at it again. I agree with you. The tap two look away. They look away and hosed. But the next three, maybe Easthouse have played a couple of more games.
Yeah,
But I know that's saying you say momentum. You've got to kind of fancy Ross Vale's looking kind of good. Unless again, it's teams I've not seen. I've not really seen any. Easterhouse I'd probably have a wee soft spot for because that's
aye,
where I grew up. But and I know the guys that run it and stuff. But I not Eglinton's another one I always say as well. A team that kind of came in out of nothing, and I
yeah,
don't know the guys down there. I know nothing about them, but what a job they've kind of done as well to go and get their team kind of challenging to move up the leagues. As I say, I've got a lot of time for that kind of. I know how hard it is to and the effort the guys must put in as well. So no, it's hopefully the best team goes up in third.
yeah, absolutely. Just some other results here. Royal Albert 0, Calluke 2, Newmains 5, BSC 0, Campbellton 1, Saltcoats 4, Gifford 0, St Peters 0. It's another fascinating weekend, obviously, and the leagues are very interesting as we get into the kind of later stages of the season. Now, we've obviously got some midweek action. We are recording this during some action. Clydebank versus Auchinleck, we've said Clydebank 1-0, Darvel 0, St Cadix 0, as far as I'm aware. Wednesday night, we've got some Premier League action as well. Pollock plays Shotts. I think a lot of people, particularly, will be looking at Camelin Trinent in the quarterfinal of the Junior Cup, maybe just with an eye on what's happening with the semi-finals and moving forward. Some of the action, obviously, at the weekend that catch your eye. Clydebank from Chapel could be interesting. Troon Largs is obviously something to keep an eye on. Other end of the table as well. Glenafton, Auchinleck, Ayrshire Classic into the first division. First of all, go to you, Petershill, Cumbernauld United. It's a big home game at Petershill Park. Arthur Kilwinning's other games that catches the eye, as are Ardross and Rutherglen. How important is it for Petershill to get the points in the board and keep momentum going, or
I,
rebuild momentum, shall we say?
I think Saturday's a must win, if I'm being honest. I think it's a must win. And it's not going to be an easy game. I mean, we went down to Cumbernauld a couple of weeks ago, and I think they won. Did we win 2 or 3-1? They end up finishing the game with 9 men, but I thought we were in control of the game at times. But they're a hard team to play. Listen, they've got a bit of effort, and they've got a bit of pace, they've got a bit of power, they've got big guys at the back. They're good for the set pieces and stuff. If we turn up and kind of defend and play the way we've been playing, then we'll be in trouble. But if we turn up and do the right things, and it's again, they went down and beat Arfley 1-0 a couple of weeks ago at Dunterley as well. So no, it's a and Izzy and Dole's they've always got their team
Yeah,
organised. It's always a hard team to play. So no, we unfortunately we need to go and win on Saturday. There's no other doubt about it. I think if we drop points on Saturday, I think just being honest, I don't think you'd have enough in the tank. I don't even think 6 out of 6 would be enough. I think you have to start winning it and see what others around you do. Let them kind of make the mistakes. We can't go
yeah.
drop many. I think Saturday was the kind of final straw.
Yeah, absolutely. Just some of the other games over mid weekend as well. Whitelett's Cup in the second division, Maryhill Caledonian could be quite interesting. Into the third division, I am very interested. Glasgow United play Greenock. You've also got Dorai Irvine Vix, Ardere Glenvale, fourth division. Big games for Eglinton, Port Glasgow, Kello play Royal Albert, Rossvale, Giffnock, something to keep an eye on as well. Knights would go to St Peters. St Cadoc's fans will keep an eye on Locker versus Whitburn because that will obviously be determined if St Cadoc's play in the Scottish Cup next season because the I
Yeah.
think
While we're there, I see that cup. I can't understand. Do you know what actually happens in it?
so. From what I understand, and just basically, I would imagine what's happened in the past. I think they all play each other, and it's basically just a round robin. So from
So it's,
what's
it's It was like the promotion when you play the East
Yeah.
and South. Right, I
So
get
St
you.
Cadoc's have played twice and won one. I think they beat Locker and lost to Whitburn.
That's right.
St Cadoc's need Locker to beat Whitburn
Or what?
to
Right, I get you. I get
go
you.
up, to basically go up. But again, it depends on goal difference. I don't know if goal difference are head to head counts, because if it was head to head, I'd imagine St Cadoc's win. Like, yeah, I think Whitburn will win, but
Hmm.
I think a lot of St Cadoc's fans will have an eye on. Hopefully, I think there'll be Locker Thistle supporters on Saturday. Craig, all that is left for me to do, mate, is thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure as always to have you on, mate. I thoroughly appreciate your company.
No, no problem, mate. I
Top man.
appreciate you having us. It's always good to come on and discuss it with you, mate. It's good.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in to our podcast. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and our podcast channels. We're also available on Patreon, where you've got consistent West of Scotland coverage. And as always, thank you very much to our sponsors, Green University Renewables and Indigo Unified Communications.